And remember now, you got to talk loud, Willie.
First one right here with the telephone call was never told to my jury where my sister called my house, which would have stated my sister called, here's the telephone number, my sister called and talked to me at 8:50 on 9th month, 10th day of 1998. That would have proved I was at my house at 8:50, which I was there at 8:30, way before dark.
Okay.
Kathryn Hartman testified we didn't leave her house until somewhere around 9 or a little after. So this phone record proves she lied. And this was never presented to the jury because there was a truck seen there at her residence at 9 o'clock, a light blue truck. And I was at my house, so that shows you right there that the first time that truck was seen, I was at my home with Kathryn Hartman and Brown. Phone records don't lie.
That truck that was there, was that your truck?
My truck's at my house. I have a white Lariat.
And that other truck, what, the color of the other truck?
This truck had a camper thing on the back of it. My truck don't have no camper.
You don't have a camper in the back of your truck? Okay.
Which I'm going to show you all that. Okay, the next one, Kathryn Hartman says in trial, I took one value. There's the trial testimony right here. She said I took one value. Here's her sworn deposition. She says I took 3 or 4 values.
How many did she take?
She says I took 3 or 4.
How many did you take?
I don't remember, the honest God's truth.
How many did she take?
She says in trial I only took 1. I took 1. That's what it says right here. It says I took 1.
Okay.
Okay, that proves she's lying right there. See, they try to make me do anything. I doped her up. You can see right here that she's the one that asked me for the value.
She asked you for the volumes?
She asked me for the drugs.
For what reason?
I told her the only thing I had was value and elevator. She said she'd take the value. I poured some in her hand. I don't know how many I poured. She said I poured 5, and she took them all. I never seen the lady take any.
And Willie, hold on. Why do you need that drug?
Ma'am?
Why did you have those that painkillers?
I have what do you call it?
Hypertension?
And I take Albuterol and Valiums. Supposed to take them 3 times a day, and I was only trying to take them 1 time a day because of Albuterol and Valiums really makes me feel so tired all the time.
What, you got water track going on?
Talk louder.
Testified Penny Prosper. She testified at probably 12 midnight. She saw this light blue. Saw a white truck. A white truck. Her depositions. Her police report, she said it was a light blue truck with a camper thing on it. See it right there?
Yeah.
She didn't tell the jury that camper on it, but then she even changed the color from light blue to white. The jury was only seeing my big white truck and a picture on the wall. They seen my white truck. So they were going by what they didn't see it. But they never was told about her, what her statement was in a police report and her depositions. Okay. Also, she said she went to bed at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. This was never told to the jury. She said she went to bed at 12 o'clock to the jury because my headlights woke her up. But she never told them that she went to bed at 10:30, 11. Okay, let's see. There's another lady now said she's seen third evening around 9. She's seen a white truck. At the very bottom, I got it in yellow. She said she's seen a white truck. Well, my phone records proved I was at my house at 8:50, but we was really there at 8:30, way before dark.
She saw the truck parked at the missing girl's house, right. Little Amanda?
Right, well, she said she went out to feed her dog.
Okay.
Okay, see now. The next one is Detective Brackett. He's testified that I told him in an interview that I went home and spilled bleach and cleaned my bathroom for 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours.
Did you?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you now. Here it is. This is what the police report statement. This is my sworn deposition. This is what Brackett said. He said, and then he said he cleaned his house as he normally does from 1:30 in the morning until 5:30. Clean his entire house, not bathroom, like he told the jury. You follow me?
Yes, I
They
see.
made it look like I was cleaning up blood for 4.5 hours.
What were you cleaning up?
I cleaned the bathtub. I took a bath. I was real sleepy after being up, so long. And I went home, took a bath, just kind of wake me up, because I knew if I fell asleep that late getting home, my daughter would be real mad because I was supposed to go crabbing at daylight. You follow me? And she needed the crabs, being it was a weekend. And I knew if I laid down, I would never wake back up because I don't hear the phone ring. So that's why I took a bath to help keep me awake.
So you were going to go crabbing? What does that mean, crabbing?
Crab fishing, that's my job. I go out and pull my crab trap and dump the crabs down.
Okay.
Okay, now, Brackett testified right here that they found an empty bleach bottle. See it right here?
Yes.
Empty bleach bottle in my bathroom.
Okay.
That ain't what he testified to. That's what he testified to there. Now, let me find it here. Here's his report he writes up. He said they found a sealed bleach bottle in my bathroom.
Okay.
How can it be he found an empty one to influence the jury that I used a whole bottle of bleach to clean up blood when they said they found a sealed bleach bottle? I mean, you can't have it both ways. But this was never told to the jury.
How come it wasn't told to the jury?
Huh?
How come your attorney didn't disclose
They
that?
stole me out. They stole me out. They didn't even try to represent me. And the Florida Supreme Court didn't know none of this that I'm telling you. Okay. I'm so upset. I stay upset over this stuff the whole time. Okay. Hartman. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Hartman told the jury that she called me the next morning to check and see if I had her daughter.
Okay.
Okay. This is her deposition, Hartman. I looked on my caller ID. I called Willie Crain, and I said, "What did you do with my daughter?" His answer he answered no. He said, "I've got to hook up my truck to my boat, and I'll call you back."
Did you say that?
No, I told her. When I called her, I said, "Go look." When she told me her daughter was missing, asked me did I have her, I said no. She didn't call me, I called her. See what happened? Hartman called my daughter. Because I called Hartman from my daughter's house, asked her when dinner was going to be ready, because she invited me over for dinner. That's where she got the number to call that morning. So she called my daughter first, asked my daughter did I have her daughter. Follow me?
Yes.
My daughter didn't know what she was talking about. She didn't know she had a daughter no more than I did until I went over there. Okay, my daughter turned around and called my house. I weren't home, I was out crabbing, so she turned around and called my truck. Here's my truck. Here's where my daughter called me at 6:22 a.m. in the morning, Cynthia Gay. Incoming call. I turned around and called Hartman's number as soon as my daughter told me. See, they told the jury I never even tried to get in contact with the lady, like I didn't care about her daughter being missing. Phone records don't lie. I called her, 4 minutes after my daughter called, trying to check on her. I said, go look in the house real good. And I said, if you don't find her, go to the bus stop and see if she's at the bus stop. I said, I'm putting my boat in the water. I said, I'll run and hurry up fast as I can. And I'm going to lay the phone down on my seat, truck seat. And I said, I'll come right back to you as soon as I get the boat in the water. When I got back to the phone, nobody's there. I hung on. I didn't realize she hung up. I figured she had found the child. So I went on out crabbing. I thought she'd found her. I said, I'll come right back to you as soon as I get the boat in the water. When I got back to the phone, nobody's there. I hung on and hung on and hung on. I didn't realize she hung up. I figured she had found the child. So I went on out crabbing. I thought she'd found it. Well, I found out later, she didn't found it. But anyway, they tried to make it like, to the jury, I didn't even care nothing about them. She testified, she called me. Well, you can see who called who. None of that was told to the jury.
What about that DNA?
I mean, Frank Stems used to crab with me off and on a little bit. He was my son's wife's father. And I told him a long time ago, I don't like people crabbing with me, not unless they work with me. But I didn't want him to pick where I crab, how I crab, and what kind of bait I use, because I catch more crabs than the rest of the crabbers. I worked hard to learn. And he promised me he would never reveal the locations I crabbed, or what kind of bait I used, or anything else, or how many crabs I was catching to anyone. Anybody in that type of business feels the same way. They might not want to admit it, but they do, because it's a real competition business, you follow me? Okay. You see what Frank Stems testified to in trial? A special location?
Mm-hmm.
You know who put them words in his mouth, don't you? The state's attorney did. Here's Frank Stems' deposition. And what's the prosecutor say here? He's asking Frank Stems, you told us that when he dropped those traps in this, I'll call a secret location. He's talking, I'll call it a secret location. The prosecutor put words in his mouth for later on in trial. Because this man, he's all nervous. He don't got himself together. He's putting words in this man's mouth to say later in trial. And just for better phrasing, follow me?
Yes.
So you see what he testified to in trial. But he changed it from a secret location to a special location. My attorney knew all this stuff and didn't object. Didn't show him. Well, here's your deposition where Mr. Pruner, the state's attorney, put these words in your mouth. That's what all this is supposed to be drawn out in trial, because all this is circumstantial evidence gets the person found guilty. Okay. Let's see where we go now. I've already going on 10 years in here for a crime I didn't do.
You've been here 10 years now?
Oh, I got cancer.
Yeah, you told me you have colon cancer.
Yeah, right.
And why don't you let the doctors operate, Willie?
I don't want to get into it on camera.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to say anything bad about Hartman and Correction.
Okay.
But,
When I turn it off.
these people operate on me, I'll die first. Natural.
Do they give you medicine for the pain?
Yeah. Oh, they're wonderful now. They want to operate on me, but I won't let them.
Oh, you won't let them?
They begged me several times to let them operate on me. I won't let them do it, but I got my own reason.
Sure.
Detective Brackett told in express hearing that the Detective Hurley had read me my random rights. Well, here's his own deposition. Detective Brackett's deposition. I consider him a suspect of the girl's disappearance. Why? Because he found out I'd been convicted in the past on sexual battery charges on children.
Oh, so he found out you were a sexual predator, so that's why he came down on you when little Amanda went missing?
Right. Oh boy, did they? Well, you don't know what I went through. I started a few minutes later, they got my face, started spitting in my face, had me backed up against the wall, and I couldn't move, both of them in my face like that, screaming and telling me I had done something to the child, wanting to know where her body was at. I said, hey, I want an attorney. And I kept asking for an attorney. They kept telling me, you don't need one, you don't need one. They kept honing on. I kept asking for an attorney. They kept telling me, you don't need one. And they finally said, you're not getting an attorney. And that's when I said, well, I'm not talking to you anymore. You arrest me or let me go. That's when they took me. Oh, first he says, I'm going to get you. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to get you. That's when they took me into another room, put me in a jail cell, and told me to strip, take all my clothes off. I thought I was arrested because I told them they'd arrest me or let me go.
Oh.
I couldn't handle no more of their abuse. They had spit all over my face from where they were spitting. Anyway, you see right here, we went back into the room, I believe it was it was at that point, maybe shortly thereafter, I advised him his rights. I advised him his rights. He didn't say to take a hurry. He said his sworn deposition. I advised him of his rights. He said, in his press hearing, Detective Hurley read me my rights. There ain't nobody read me my rights to this day. I kept asking for an attorney. Depositions don't lie. You see how I'm shaking.
Yeah, Willie, because this is a serious crime. I know you have to shake. This is death row. This stuff is serious.
See right here. See, I couldn't read it all back then. And I said, read it. It's Detective Brackett saying this to me. No, he's saying this is what he says when he reads a person their rights or whatever they're giving up.
Yeah.
Which I done told them they could search my truck. They never asked me about my boat. If they had, I'd say, search it. I had nothing to hide, but they never asked me about my boat. Even though they put it down, I did. Okay, on another form now, he asked me, could he search my home? I said, yeah, as long as you give me permission to be there while you search my home, because I don't want nobody in my home when my home's being searched, because I got too much stuff I worked hard for a little this and a little that to walk out the door. I'm not saying the cop's going to do it, but I'm going to be there to protect my interests. He says, as long as you give us permission to search your home, you can be there. So that's when I put my initials in the box like they told me to. Initials the box it applies to and sign it. That was on both forms now. Which you got the forms. I sent you copies of it.
Were you able to read that, Willie?
Huh?
Were you able to read back then?
No.
They read it to you?
I couldn't read.
Oh.
Okay. You see where it says initial the box it applies to. Then sign it down the bottom. When you sign it down the bottom, you only consenting to where your initials are at in the box. Here's another one on the same thing. Okay, now this is getting to the point where he puts it down a little different. He said that he was willing, he's telling my trial attorney this.
Yeah.
He was willing to cooperate concerning his truck and his boat. We went over the consent form with him, and he agreed to sign them. And then later on it was decided that we weren't going to use his consent to go into his house. We were going to get a search warrant for his residence. And my attorney says, I'm sorry, you did not use his consent? No, we did not. They went and got a search warrant. You know why they went and got a search warrant? Because they used them photographs that they got me naked. They used them photographs of my crab scratches. They made the judge think the girl scratched me. That's how they got the search warrant.
So the scratches on your arm from the crab, they thought it was the little girl that was kidnapped scratching you.
She scratched me. That's what they told the jury too. They showed the pictures of the scratches. They even got their own medical examiner to come in and say, well, I think this photograph is more consistent with the girl scratching me. Follow me?
When crabs scratch you, how does it look like fingernails?
Their medical report, my lawyers got now, saying they ain't no way they could have been from crab scratches. But see, I didn't have nobody come in and testify for me on this medical. I didn't have my own medical expert. See, they throw me out there again. They're only going by what the state attorneys, people are saying.
Were the scratches on your arms, shoulders? Where were the scratches again?
They come from crab scratches and bushes. See, that morning when I got out there crabbing, a lot of times people rob your traps, they throw them back overboard with their doors ripped open. Sometimes, see, I'm crabbing in the little canal there where I'm at this time of year, where the crabs are real thick. The canal ain't very wide. And sometimes when the people are robbing your traps, they don't like the other crabbers, but they'll throw them traps over in the mango bushes. And your buoy and line will be hanging out. That's how you know your trap's back in there. So that morning I was running my traps. The morning the man had disappeared, I had to get out of my boat twice, go in the bushes and get 3 crab traps. And I might have got some of them scratches because I'm coming out trying to hold them traps over my head, trying to get hit in the face with the bushes. And I might have got scratches from them. I don't know. Because when you're going through the weeds like that, you know, you don't know those little things hitting you because you're trying your best to get out of there. Okay. The bushes. And I might have got scratches from them. I don't know. Because when you're going through the weeds like that, you know, you don't know those little things hitting you because you're trying your best to get out of there. Okay. Another thing. I don't know if I sent you this or not. This is a two-page confession. Two-page confession where another person wrote the state's attorney and told them they're the ones that killed Amanda Brown and told them where they dumped their body.
Who was the person that made the confession that they killed Amanda Brown?
I don't know, but they got the envelope, they got the saliva, they done DNA, but nobody's ever said nothing about it.
Why don't you mail me a copy of that, Willie?
I thought I did already.
No, I never seen that. I didn't know anyone else confessed to kidnapping and killing Amanda.
Jury.
What year was this?
98.
I had no idea.
Months after she come up missing, this letter was sent to the state's attorney. Two-page.
But they don't know who sent this letter.
I don't know. All I got was this. I didn't know nothing about this until I got on death row.
Oh, so make me a copy.
All right. Yeah, I was going to give you a lot of this stuff, but I thought I'd already sent this.
No, I got everything else but that confession letter.
Kathryn Hartman, when I got home, the first night I met her at the bar, she lifted her jaw-free windows on her door to go in her house. They was like this. You could do like this on the outside. They was broken. Otherwise, the wine thing on the inside would make the door go up and out because it's been broken. I don't know how long it's been broken. She didn't tell me. So she lifts it up, sticks the arm to turn the doorknob on the inside. The outside don't have no handle. It's completely broke off.
So the trailer was unsecure. It wasn't a locked safe.
There's a deposition. And broke by there for about a year. Hey, none of this was told to the jury. Anybody could have come in and out that house.
Do you know?
Noted that spending her house in a year, knowing that's how she gets in and out of her house. Okay. This is a deposition, especially right here. She was asked what time did she get back from Crain's house. Probably what time her and that man in Crain got back to the house, from his house.
Yes.
This is a sworn deposition. 15 years for perjury, she lied. What time did she say she got back? 12:30 from my house.
I read that.
Phone records. I got phone records.
Do you present all this to your attorney?
Huh?
Your attorney has all this paperwork?
No, they ain't bringing up none of this I'm showing you. None of it. The ones I got right now ain't even bringing it up. What I'm showing you? No. Oh man, I've done lost the phone records. Somewhere here. I'm hurting so bad in my back. Phone records, phone records. Kathryn Hartman. So whose truck was that there? You follow me? None of this was showed to the jury.
So that couldn't have been your truck?
Hey, I got a white Larry, and they was all at my house. Phone records don't lie. She even testified somewhere in the paperwork that she talked to my daughter on the phone. But it don't show it in these records. So it must be all in deposition when she says that. The first time she got interviewed by 30 minutes.
Only 30 minutes at your house?
Yeah, you see it at the top in yellow.
Yes. Oh, I was at Willie Crain's trailer for approximately 30 minutes. Yeah, I see it.
She was there at least 4.5 hours they were. Okay, another thing, you know what she did? When we was at her house, I asked her to come to my house. Hey, I had no idea we was going to be there, 30 minutes or whatever. I wanted to show her my house. I wanted to show her how many TVs I had. I had one in every room. I even had a TV in the bathroom. I was proud of my house. I worked hard to get where I was at. She said, sure, we'll go, but we can't stay long. But when we got to my house, we talked to my son outside the door. Outside, when I got out of the truck, he come over and I tried to get him to come in with us. And he said, no, she can't go back to the house. So we got in the house, walked in the door, Kathy seen all my tapes that I have. I rent tapes and make copies. And my son had a bunch of tapes and I made copies of him. She says, do you have the Titanic? I said, sure. I just bought it the week before for my grandkids. And I told them I'd bet $1 and something for it. But I'm not going to give it to you until I make a copy of it for myself. That's how come I had it. She says, I'd like to see that. She tells the jury it was Amanda's favorite movie. That's the reason they went to my house. Hey, if you ever seen the Titanic,
Yeah.
you know how many people drowned?
Yeah.
Fell and screaming and everything? Does that sound like a 7-year-old kid movie? That was never explained to the jury. 7-year-old kids ain't going to watch people jumping and shrieking to death and screaming.
So did you show the movie to her
She watched the movie.
and the little girl?
She was sitting out there on the bed between Hartman and myself. But
You-
at least she had a mother with her to explain things to her while the movie was being going on. But see, they portrayed that was a favorite movie to get Amanda enticed to my house. You follow me? They really played that jury. They really played that jury. Okay. She says when we got back,
Is that true?
yes, she did. She lay down her own bed.
So the little girl Amanda,
Hartman's room.
so she took a shower?
Me to her room. Amanda was in her own bed.
The little girl was in her own room,
Sure did. Up front.
up front.
I went in the bedroom with Hartman.
Yeah.
She said she wanted to talk to me.
Okay.
When I went in there, her TV was on. So I slid up on the bed after taking my shoes off. And about that time, I was backing up on the bed.
Yeah.
Amanda come flying in through the door.
Yeah.
Jumped up on the bed between me and Hartman.
What time was it when that little girl came in that bed?
Probably around 2 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Was she scared? The little girl was scared?
I can't say. I don't know. She didn't say she was scared. She just come flying in that bedroom door, jumped up there between us. Maybe she didn't want me and her mama being alone or something. Maybe she was scared for her mama's safety. I don't know. I can't say what's in another person's mind. So, Hartman's laying there, the kid's laying there, and I got my hand popped up on my head. I'm watching TV. I thought we was going there to have a conversation, me and Hartman. Next thing I know, I'm about 15 minutes or so, I started talking to Hartman. She's asleep.
And what about the little girl?
She looked like she was asleep too. So I got up, put my shoes on, and I left.
Okay.
I figured it was around 2:15, 2:20 at the latest.
When did she take the painkillers?
Okay. She told the jury she took them at my house. She didn't.
She took them at her house?
Okay, we got back to my house. Now, when she was at my house, I asked her, did she want to smoke some marijuana? I did do that.
What did you ask her?
Marijuana.
Both of you smoke marijuana?
I had some marijuana at my house.
Okay.
I asked her, did she want to smoke some marijuana? She said, no. No, thank you. But when I first got there, she asked me, I asked her, I said, you know, I could have stopped and got you some beer. She said, no, I'm all right. I'll take a soda. So I went in the kitchen. She's sitting there in the green chair in my living room because my sister had just called. About the time after she said about the Titanic, if I had it, the phone rang. I picked it up, and it's my sister. Okay, this is, I think, the 10th. And my sister's birthday is on the 6th of September. And my sister always jumps on me when I don't buy her something for her birthday. And I'm in the mood of entertaining this lady. I don't feel like having somebody jump on me because I forgot to buy him a present. So I said to Hartman, Hartman, would you like to talk to my sister? They portrayed it like I put Hartman on something because me and my sister didn't get along. Hey, me and my sister loves each other. Only thing is, I just didn't feel like her jumping on me for not buying her a present or remembering it was her birthday 2 days before. So I kind of put it off on Hartman and talked to her while I went there to make her some sodas. So while Hartman was in my living room, sitting in my green chair, Amanda come in there and sat at the kitchen table. I was making the sodas. I took one soda, I put ice in 2 glasses, poured soda in each one. I gave Amanda one out because I don't let people walk around my table with sodas when they get on my carpet. She has to sit at the table. So I took the other soda in their glass and gave it to Hartman while she was at that green chair, sitting in my green chair, my lazy chair. And I went back in there, and I was sitting there, I was sipping on, what was I drinking? Oh, I was drinking vodka and orange juice. And Amanda was sitting there wiggling on her tooth, and it started bleeding. So I got up. I got a beautiful dinette set I had just bought, and the seats are cloth. You can't take the seats off these chairs. They're made to be on there. And I didn't have nothing wrapped around to protect the fiber because I'm not used to having, young children like that, I don't know if she's careless or not, but I seen that blood on her fingers and went there too. I got up and got her some toilet paper to keep the blood off her fingers.
Did she come with you to the restroom to get that toilet paper?
Wait a minute now. No, I had it in the kitchen. I keep all my stuff in my kitchen cabinets right there. I just opened up and got some toilet paper.
Okay.
So, some toilet paper to keep the blood off her fingers.
Did she come with you to the restroom to get that toilet paper?
Wait a minute now. No, I had it in the kitchen. I keep all my stuff in my kitchen cabinets right there. I just opened up and got some toilet paper.
Okay.
So, a few minutes, she wipes the blood off her fingers. A few minutes later, I'm still sitting there. I got the Titanic plugged into the TV, but I got it on set. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
She gets on the phone, we're watching in the living room. I got a 60-inch TV. So, Hartman's on the phone, still talking to my sister. And,
Get a different view.
trying to hear somewhere.
So her tooth started bleeding.
Anyway, here it is. What's Hartman say in her police reports?
Read it.
It says right here, the phone rang a few times, a couple phone calls to some of his people, she did, and she said that while she was on the phone, Willie gave Amanda a Pepsi. Amanda started to wander around the house, and Willie gave her a tour.
Did you give her a tour? You get that little girl a tour of your house?
Sure did.
After her tooth was bleeding or before?
Right after her tooth was bleeding.
You stopped the bleeding with the tissue?
She did.
The little girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I went in the first bedroom. I got I think it was a 30-inch TV in my first bedroom. I turned it on, showed her it works. I went to the bathroom. I turned the 27-inch TV on in the bathroom. I showed her it works. I'm coming out of the bathroom. I thought she was behind me. I looked back. She said, I need to use the bathroom. This weren't told to the jury because I forgot about it. Okay, she closed the door. I said, you get through. I said, come back to the back bedroom. So she was in there for a few minutes. I don't know. Maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. I don't know.
And where was her mom when the little girl was in your restroom?
To my sister.
Oh, on the phone talking to your sister.
So, next thing I know, Amanda's opened the door and come in the bedroom. I done turned the air conditioner on. This is the only room I got air conditioning. And I got the TV on, and I'm sitting there trying to flick through the channels when she walked in the door. So she jumped up on the bed, and I'm showing her how to work remote control. She's sitting on the bed like this, follow me, her feet out like this, looking, and I got my remote control around her like this, showing her how to work it.
Yeah.
And by that time, Hartman walked into the room.
Yeah.
Opened the door.
Wait, was the door closed?
Yes.
When you and that little girl was in that room?
Door was closed with me and her in there.
Just you two?
Yeah, just me and her.
And she-
Hartman was on the phone.
And you were sitting on the bed?
Yeah, and Amanda was sitting on the bed, and I'm showing her how to work the remote control to the TV.
Okay.
I never had the Titanic on because it's still in the living room.
All right.
So Hartman come in there. We all went back into the living room and started watching the Titanic.
Okay.
I done got the air conditioning going in there. It's a little warm in there. I had trouble breathing from a panic attack. I said, let's take the movie, go in the bedroom. We can watch it in there. Hartman said, okay. So we all went to the bedroom. That's when we started watching the movie in the bedroom. She told the jury the way it was wired, I could watch the Titanic any room in the trailer. I can only watch the Titanic only when I put it in the VCRs. And each one of the bedrooms is set in the bathroom. I didn't have a VCR for the bathroom, but the other three I did.
Did Amanda's mother know about her tooth that was bleeding, Willie?
No, I never. Hey, I got 5 kids myself. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I pulled her teeth most of them up until about 7 years of age. And kids pull their own teeth too sometimes. And there's no big deal about a kid tooth bleeding. So I didn't think while jumping up there, say, hey, the mother, hey, her tooth's bleeding. It never dawned on me something like this later on was going to come out.
Did it bleed a lot or just a couple of drops?
It's just a little bit of blood on her fingers, which I didn't want her getting on my chair and table. So Hartman said She wanted to see the movie Titanic, so we turned on. Who was wanting to see it?
Who, the name you just said?
You see, she said she wanted to see it, but that ain't what she told the jury.
So your attorney didn't know about that part?
He had all this. They had all this. Okay, this right here shows you a neighbor, Elizabeth Bailey or something.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay, she says Amanda's out at the bus stop before daylight. She's had to make her come in her house several times because she was by herself in the dark. But they told the jury she was scared of the dark, to make the jury think she would never leave that house by herself to go out in the dark. Hey, I don't know if the lady's lying or telling the truth. She's the next door neighbor. I can't say. But the jury was never showed that. Okay, Roger Miller.
Yeah, I read that.
What's her name? No, it's Roy Brown, excuse me. Roy Brown. What's he say about his ex-wife? He says he lied. He and his ex-wife did not get along, but Mr. Brown did not get along with, but he still saw his daughter from time to time. He advised he had not seen her for several days. Well, that can't be if he had picked her up the night before, took her to his house and took her to school the last day he saw her. So that can't be right. Because he supposed to took her to school the last time he saw her. He
Okay.
came home from school, then later on I came over to Hartman's house that day because she invited me back from the night before. I didn't even know she had a dog.
When you met her at the bar that first night, you didn't know she had any children?
God, I didn't. Swear to God.
You met her one,
Stopped me from going over there if she hadn't told me, but I didn't know it.
so you met her one night, and the very next night you found out that she had a child.
Right, and I went over to see her that evening.
And she didn't talk about a child when you were at the bar.
I swear to God. But they've got two different versions of that. She's told in police reports and depositions at first that she did not discuss her having a daughter because she was with her husband and had no reason to bring her up at the bar to me. But now she says yes, she did. So as credibility, it should have been showed to the jury. You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
So, Willie, because
Okay. You see right here, she said she called my house. Hartman did at 6:30
yes.
when Amanda come up missing. Well, the phone records prove that she didn't.
So who did she call?
She called my daughter, Cindy Gay. But she said she spoke to me. She spoke to me. But she told the jury after I didn't call her back, she called my daughter to make it look real bad on me. She said she called me. I was supposed to call her back because I was busy putting my boat in the water. She said Crain never called her back. So she called my daughter. Lies. She called my daughter first. But she said she called me. How she called me? Because she looked my number up on her ID. Yeah. My daughter's number was on her ID before I called her the night before asking her supper was going to be ready. That's why she called that number. I'm not saying Hartman kidnapped her daughter. I'm not saying she had anything to do with her daughter being missing. I'm just saying the lies and the inconsistencies the jury weren't told about. Okay. Roy Brown says Amanda gets up and makes her own breakfast and everything, gets herself clothes. And she's always gone when he goes to pick her up, down the street. So that kid was well known, going around different places in Hartman, didn't even know where she was at.
How old was Amanda? 6 or 7?
Half, I think.
7 and a half?
Yeah. And was a predator on the same street as her, a couple houses down.
Did they investigate?
Well, what I've read, they said they talked to him. They didn't find nothing, to arrest him for. They asked Hartman, did Hartman know anything about him? And Hartman didn't have no one way or the other knowing he had any contact with her.
Did he have a blue truck?
Huh?
Did he have a truck? A blue truck?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I just let you know what I found out, what that I've read. Now, they told the jury there was no blood in Kathryn Hartman's home. Now, luminol, you know what luminol is?
Yeah, that.
Luminol
It-
does tell
Yes, it.
blood there.
Yes, it does.
It ain't mixed with bleach.
Right.
So if it's mixed with bleach, they can't say if it's blood or bleach. You follow me? What's it say right here in Kathryn Hartman's home at the bottom line?
I can't read
They
it.
didn't say anything about bleach. They used luminol.
Luminol. I see it.
They found blood. They told the jury there weren't no blood. Wait a minute. Wait, somebody ain't telling the truth there. I'm not saying it's blood. I'm just telling you what the police report says when they done the luminol and what they told the jury. I'm not saying there was blood there. I'm not saying when it got there, how it got there. Hey, everybody bleeds sometime or another in their home. So that could have been a long time ago. But it sure was different than what they swore to in deposition, trial. There was blood. They said there weren't none. Okay. So that could have been a long time ago. But it sure was different than what they swore to in deposition, trial. There was blood. They said there weren't none. Okay. And here it is again. Her house again about blood. That's another page on it, right behind that one. Hey, I didn't make these reports up. Roger Miller, or Miller Rogers. Now, this is the deposition, a police report was done at 9th 11th day at 10 o'clock in the morning. Not long after Amanda had been found missing. This woman was down there giving her police report. What does she say? She says, witness said between 2 and 2:30 hours on the 9th month, 98, 11th day of 98, she said she was driving a Club 92 to pick up her boyfriend, David Gay, I guess, or something. As she passed Amanda Brown's house, she observed a dark blue pickup truck parked immediately in the driveway, the scene.
What time was that? 12:30, 1:30?
She observed the same truck, blue pickup truck, on the street.
What time?
With the lights on facing east when she came back from the bar.
What
She
time?
went to pick him up.
Right.
On her way back with her boyfriend, the truck now sitting on outside
Outside.
with the headlights on.
What time? What time did she say?
Well, it don't say when she got back, but it says between 2 and 2:30.
Between-
Wait a minute. That was never told to the jury. She's supposed to went to the hospital. How can you keep going to the hospital and you want to pick your boyfriend up? I tried to get my attorney to get the hospital records where she's supposed to be in the hospital that night and supposed to have been released at 1:30. You follow me? But nobody's ever told me if they got him or not. These are the witnesses that helped hang me for kidnapping. And they're inconsistent in their stories that the jury never was told. Okay. Here it is again. This is her daughter here now, this same lady's daughter that supposed to took her to the hospital for kidney infection. She says that morning she's going to the hospital. She spies on Friday morning she had gone to the hospital and was released approximately 1:30 a.m. She said on her way with her mom about 2 o'clock on Hillsborough Avenue when she saw a blue truck parked in front of Amanda's house in front. She said the truck had its lights on, was facing east. She said the truck was parked on the road in front of Amanda's house with the door open.
Yeah, I read that part. I read that part.
Wait a minute now. Same people now. They 40 minutes later, this is at time 8:20 in the morning. Gave that one. This one here is at 10:40. Same day. This is the mother of the girl.
And that's the daughter. The other one.
From the first one.
Okay.
Follow me?
Yes.
From that one now, which she gave that statement at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
40 minutes later, this is what she says now. Roger Miller and her daughter, Amanda, became ill last night. She took her to the hospital. She stayed upon her return down Hillsborough Avenue at approximately 1:30 a.m. She noticed the lights on the victim's trailer and a pickup truck in the drive with the lights on. She done changed it. From going to Club 92, now the jury was never told this stuff. Okay, here's another one now. This is the 12-year-old here, her daughter. She advised on Friday morning she had gone to the hospital and was released probably 1:30. She's on her way back from her mom at 2 o'clock going down Hillsborough Avenue. She saw a light blue truck parked in front of Man's house. She said that the truck had its lights on, was facing east. That's in the road now. She said the truck was parked on the road in front of Amanda's house with a door open, and then not see anybody around the truck.
I read that as well.
She was never told none of this.
Well, that was your attorney. That was his job to disclose that stuff.
The state's attorney ain't allowed to let his witness lie. These are the state's attorney's witnesses. You know what happens to a state attorney when they do this? They get fired. They get fired. You don't put innocent people in prison when you know the truth and let your witness deliberately lie to the jury. You're supposed to correct your witnesses. Hey, I've been studying the law a little bit. I may not never get out of here, but I want the people to know I'm innocent. I've been railroaded. Because the state attorney ain't gonna like what I'm saying. And I don't care. I spent 10 years for something I didn't do. Now, there's something else that the jury never found out. This is Amanda Brown's school teacher. This is deposition I wrote down what she had to say.
Amanda's a very happy little girl, it says.
Well, I was supposed to go, this Amanda telling her outside, the last day Honeywell seen this child. Ms. Honeywell, I was supposed to go to Disney World the weekend. She said, my mother is taking me to Disney World. The jury was told her father was taking her to Daytona Beach, I believe, for the weekend. He'd already rented a place with a pool, You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
I want to know.
Get a different angle.
He done that a month or so in advance because he got such a good deal and he put it on his credit card. Where's the credit card? So come the jury won't show the credit card that he had purchased this and put it on his credit card because he got such a good deal. That was never shown to the jury to back up his story. We got a conflict of interest here. The teacher said that child said her mama was taking her to Disney World. I don't know if it's true or not. This is the school teacher. She was never, this is what her deposition says. Page 5, I believe. Yeah. No,
Okay.
15 there, maybe. Oh, yeah, page 5. I thought my memory was pretty good.
Okay, Willie, we got about 14 more minutes. That DNA, it was redone.
See right here, what the DNA,
Yeah.
this is what they told the jury. They found blood.
They found blood on your shorts. They found blood on your toilet.
Supposed to have been 488,000, 1 in 488,000 for people like me. They told the jury it was 30 some odd million, 1 in 30 some odd million. Hey, how come they changed it?
So what they were trying to say, they found Amanda's blood on your shorts, in your restroom, on the toilet, and where else?
Toilet, toilet paper and boxer shorts.
And the second set of DNA said what?
Oh, wait a minute. You see what it says right here? I told them, this people come in and view me in the county jail. What did I tell them? This come out of the newspaper, what I told them, where I thought the blood came from, when I found out there was blood.
The tooth.
Thank you. Thank you. Here's the tooth that was never sold to the jury.
What happened to the tooth?
See, here's the tooth.
That's
I've never seen her pull it, but I don't mean that's the tooth. But the state's attorney had her tooth in their evidence. You know, and here's the DNA. They said they get DNA from teeth. There it is, right there.
Did she lose the tooth at your house or at her mother's house?
Never seen her pull the tooth.
Oh, you just saw it bleeding?
Right.
Okay.
I could lie, but I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. But they get DNA from tooth. How come that tooth weren't tested?
I don't know.
It's a good question, ain't it? They get DNA from all that stuff. You know why they didn't have that tooth in evidence? Because they didn't want the jury to believe my story. That's the only thing I can come up with. That's why they didn't do DNA on it. That would have showed the jury I was telling the truth.
Well, something happened to that girl, Willie. We got a 7-year-old girl that disappeared in 1998, and we can't find her.
You see right here what he says about his test.
Read that part.
It says right here, I can't pronounce that word. Test, I tried earlier to come upon test that simply indicates that blood may be present. Simply indicates that blood may be present. But he goes on in all his paperwork and says his test proved to be blood. He found blood.
What?
The attorney let him lie. Let him mislead my jury. The attorney knew from his deposition there was no blood proof.
Okay, so now that the second set of DNA says it's negative, where do you go from here? Do you go back to court?
Oh, I got an evidentiary hearing February the 4th in Hampton.
Next year?
No, this year. The 8th.
The 8th?
February the 4th at 9 o'clock. Judge Fletcher's courtroom.
You gonna be there?
I've done been subpoenaed.
February the 8th.
And the judge is already granted on all this stuff. It's going to prove to be blood.
So you get a second hearing?
This is a hearing I got coming up now.
Okay,
The judge, everywhere got experts where the judge granted this stuff.
okay. So Willie,
Where you see expert, the judge granted it. Because my trial attorney sold me out. They lied.
so you get a new attorney or the same one?
No, I'm going with the same one I got now that's bringing all this up. Follow me?